Hi there everybody. For our yoga session today we're going to be looking at as many different animals that we can think of in yoga. So I want you to stand in your guard pose, remember with your toes together and your heels slightly apart. Just standing up nice and tall, I want you to focus on your breath, breathing in through the nose and gently breathing out through the nose. So breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. Steady your breath. Stand tall with your shoulders back and down. Draw the chin in so your neck is nice and long. We're going to take a breath in and bring the arms overhead. As you exhale, bring them down. Inhale again. And as you exhale, you're going to fold down forward and drop your hands down to the floor. Let the head hang. Now I'm going to turn around so that you can see what we're doing. And we're going to step down onto our hands and knees with your hands directly underneath your shoulders and your knees directly underneath your hips. Can you see that? And our first animal is going to be a cat. So we're going to round the spine, dropping the head down, looking between those feet, pushing the back away from you, and then we inhale and we're going to come to cow. So tipping the tailbone up and making a big arch in the back. Exhale to cat. And inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Inhale to cow. From there, we're going to tuck our toes under and lift up into downward facing dog. So this is our dog. Holding there as you breathe. So the sit bones, your bottom goes as high as it can, your heels are pushing down to the floor, a nice long line between your hand up through your shoulder right up to your sit bones. Then we're going to come forward as we exhale into this position. Now, you can put your knees down here and we're going to come to a position called crocodile. So your elbows are in and you lower into crocodile. From here, lower all the way to the floor and then toes down, lift up and squeeze those shoulders together into snake. This is called a cobra snake. From there, we're going to come back into a mouse. Tuck your hands to a mouse. And breathe. Bring your hands back. Let's do that again. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Tuck the toes under to your dog. Come forward, ready for your crocodile. Now you can put your knees down if you like, but you don't have to. Coming down to crocodile, hover there, lowering your body down all together, and you could do a puppy dog where just the fronts of your feet touch the floor. Lower the knees, push back into that mouse. Should we do that one more time? Okay, so coming up to your hands and knees. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Push away. Tuck your toes under to the dog. Come forward for your crocodile. Knees down if you wish. Come down. And then lower the body. You can come up to cobra, to the snake if you wish, or you can come all the way up to the puppy dog. Drop your knees down, come back to your mouse. Okay, slowly roll up, come up back up to your feet, and we're just going to come back to that standing position. Okay. So, eagle pose. We're going to take one foot and we're going to cross it over the other. So your right leg is crossing over the left. Now if you can lift it up and tuck it behind and balance. The same arm, so the same arm as the leg, comes across to there and you sink down. You can always put your toe down. Now lift your elbows up, you can see from the side. I'm sitting down, lifting the elbows, either with the toe off the floor or the toe on the floor. Hold it there and breathe. And release. Let's try that on the other side. So we've got the left leg coming over the right or tucking behind, it's up to you. Same arm goes on top and you lift. Hold it there and breathe. So from the side it looks like this. Good. And release. Well done. So that was the eagle. Now we've got one called crane, okay, or emu sometimes it's called. So we're going to take one foot, because the crane often stands on one leg, and take it behind. Okay, keep your knees together. Hand comes out. And we're going to tip forward. Okay, I'm going to show you this from the side. So one foot goes behind, hand out in front, and you tip. Hold it there nice and steady. Breathing slowly through the nose. As we go to the other side. So that foot goes behind, knees together to begin, steady your gaze, arm comes out in front, and then we tip. Holding as still as you can. And release. Okay. Got a few on the floor now, so we're going to come down to the floor and we're going to start with a nice easy butterfly. So here's your wings spreading out. I want you to hold onto your ankles, okay, not your toes. Hold onto your ankles and use your elbows to push your knees down with a nice tall back. So sit up nice and tall. Feel that stretch around here, your inner thighs. Good. And release. Bring those feet together. And here we have a turtle pose. So stretching your hands underneath your knees. That's our turtle pose. Good. And bringing those feet back together, we reach forward, and this is oyster. So you're reaching forward like an oyster shell, and you can open your shell and close your shell. So reach and stretch forward, close the shell, stretching through the spine. And whilst we're on the subject of underwater, let's go to a fish pose. So, coming round to the side here. Can you see? You can't see my feet there, can you? My feet are turned out like a fish's tail. And I'm going to come down to the floor. You're not going to see my feet now, but keep your feet out like that. And then you come onto your elbows and you're going to push up, hands flat, you're going to push up here so you've got a big arch in your spine and look at the ceiling. Super job. So that's our fish. And whilst we're under the water, we also have a whale. Okay, so down here for a whale pose, we're going to slowly from our tailbone flatten our back and peel up as far as you can. Now once you're up here, I want you to keep looking at the ceiling, don't turn your head. You're going to tuck your arms underneath and push your tummy to the ceiling. Squeeze your bottom so you come up like a tail, like a whale rather, okay? And what do whales blow out? They have a hold, don't they? They breathe in, blow that water out of your water hole. Squeeze your bottom and bring your knees together. Good job. Okay, then lower down and come up to seated. This time we're going to come onto our knees like this, and we're going to turn our hands this way round, okay? And then we're going to arch our back, and this is known as a lion pose, okay? I'm going to show you from the side so you can see my knees are apart, my hands are turned inwards, and then you lift your back and your spine like that. Okay, and we're just going to have a little rest now in our mouse. Okay, the next pose we're going to be doing is a camel pose. So you're going to come onto your knees with your feet out behind you, and this one gives you a lot of strength in your back. So we're just going to push our hips forward, and first of all we're going to come up with one hand into half camel. Release that, we'll try it with the other arm, lifting up, so pushing the hips forward so you're getting a big arch through the spine. Look to that fingertip in the air. Okay, and full camel is where you come back and back, okay? So still pushing your hips forward. Now, if this is too tricky for you to get all the way back, you can make it a little bit easier by bringing your heels a bit closer to you and going from there. So you're pushing forward with your front body and rounding the back there and breathing. And we're going to counter that by just coming back to our mouse pose and settling down here. Bringing the hands forward, coming back up to our downward facing dog. We've got a posture called scorpion. So first off, we're going to come to a three-legged dog. So with your sit bones nice and high, your bottom up in the air, and your heels pushing down to the floor, straight line through your arms, we're going to lift up one leg like this. That's our three-legged dog. Now we come forward with the arms, bend the foot, and open the hip into scorpion. Good. From there, we're going to come back and we're going to bring the knee right the way through and settle it down here. So you can see my foot is here and I'm straight round. This is called pigeon or swan. Now in a second I'm going to show you this from a different angle. Okay, so we're going to come back to our downward facing dog now, and I'm going to turn around this way for you. So hopefully you can see there, and we're lifting up into our three-legged dog, keeping the hips square and level, then bending the knee, coming forward with your body and opening out into scorpion. Then we come through, back, bring the leg forward, and there is your pigeon pose. Sometimes this is called swan. I think I'd rather be a swan than a pigeon, but there we go. So bringing the foot forward and squaring the hips off here, reaching the toes behind you as far as you can. Holding there. release the leg around. Just going to sit up nice and tall for a second. And one of our last ones today is going to be a crab. So we're going to come back with our hands like this to there, and you can walk side to side like a crab. Okay, we come up, roll up to a jellyfish. And just wobble your arms around like a jellyfish. Then slowly roll up through your spine. Drop the shoulders back into place and the head comes up last. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed our little tour through the animal world, and if you're feeling like it now, you can pop onto the mindfulness session and do a little meditation to finish. So I'll see you next time.